Hey all, welcome to the panel. Jill's already laughing at me when I said hey all. It's a great start. Oh man. It's late, so yeah, the boys weren't planning on doing a panel chat. After all the panel got eliminated, we thought, screw that, we're done with this league. And then Greeno texted me today and he was like, where's the panel? And I felt guilty. And so it's 10:40 p.m. on Saturday night. We got a quick panel chat coming for you. As always, Carter, say hi to the boys.
Hey everyone. Yeah. Um, I got not much to say right now. Yeah, it's me. Welcome back. Back. My partner in crime didn't want to come on the pod. Had no interest coming on the pod, so it's what it is.
You see, like the energy levels already, we can tell why we didn't want to do the chat. We don't want to be here. We do have someone who wants to be here though, so special guest, DPOY candidate, definitely a top three, but we'll find out if he's the winner tomorrow. Mike Greeno, welcome to the pod.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Very happy to bring, I guess, positive vibes to the panel tonight. So,
Beauty. Good to have you,
Love it.
man. It's funny, so when did you join, Mike? You joined after the first regular season, right? I had done
yeah.
the 15 guys playing ball, just pick up ball. Begged you to come to that. You didn't come. Then we did the first season, begged you to come to that. You didn't come. And then finally convinced you. And yeah, it's good to have you. Same thing with the panel. A couple times I tried last year. I quit asking you, and then all of a sudden here you're like, get me on the panel. I want to talk.
Well, I was the man. I was in a different mental space as an athlete early on, and the league gave me the opportunity to work through those things, and I was like, man, I'm not ready playing to the narratives of the league at this point. And then I've just been watching so much this season. I'm like, man, that looks like a great time. If I can hop on there, that would be awesome.
That's fair. Yeah, I gotta embrace it, right? We're
You do. You really do.
fun. Good fun. Cool. All right, so we're gonna keep it quick today. We're gonna chat about semifinals, what went down, why Cam Carter and I are sitting here sad, and then we will get into the final matchups as well. So, uh, semifinals. Let's go. Greeno, you can start us off. What did you see from your game? What led to success? Why'd you win?
Man, our game was back and forth basically for the whole game. I think we had a run in the fourth at some point that opened it up. I don't know if we got to double digits quite there. Um, but it was a slugfest. Like anytime playing against Scotty defensively, like when he's playing you defensively, he's very, very underrated. Makes life hard. He's just smart defender and smart offensively, but especially defensively. So I felt like we kind of had the Bill Belichick mentality to do your job. Like our whole team is just kind of like a bunch of guys doing their job. Isaiah came in big for us. He was a huge contributor throughout the entire game, especially in that fourth. Like he hit some big shots, late three, I think, to push it up 7. And so, yeah, that was a big difference maker for us. And I think rebounding, like Joey Giesberg, man, like that dude, I don't understand how he does it, but he's just working on the offensive glass, getting us second chances. And so, yeah, that was a big factor for us. Just everyone kind of doing their job down the stretch. Thankfully, Carter didn't hit more threes, and Cam didn't hit any crazy game winners this week, which really helped us out.
Yeah, Isaiah, what are you, 29?
Yeah, it's
Big
crazy.
from three, consistent. The finger roll finish. He was nice. He was real nice game. Definitely earned the player of the week for this one, I'd say. Um, Scotty, agree with that. He had a big game. He had a big game offensively too, right? Was he?
Yeah, he had like 20, I think.
Yeah, he was their leading scorer. So both ends of the
Mhm.
floor. 53% from the field. Like he was really solid. Good to see. And then in after that last run that you guys had, Greeno, Carter hit the one ridiculous three again, and it was like, oh, it's coming again, it's coming. And then they just didn't have enough steam to fight their way back in. But there's flashes of the previous week when Carter hit that one. I was getting pumped.
Oh yeah, I was kind of getting comfortable, and then Carter hit that three and was like, hmm. And then I think you guys had called a timeout and pressed us right after that three was made. And I had to own it because as a coach, hey, never dribble through the press. Like we're gonna pass it around, get it through. And it was like this inspirational moment where I got the ball. I was like, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what it feels like. And it felt awful because turned the ball over very quickly.
Yeah, you guys had two or three turnovers, but I feel like they turned it over and gave it right back to you, right? Like you guys got lucky on two of those.
Yeah, so I turned the ball over trying to dribble through it, and they missed the layup. Then we came down the other way, kind of dribbled out the clock. Ball ended up back in my hand again. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to dribble this around for a while. Got trapped, turned the ball over to Cam, and then was able to get my hands on the ball again for a jump ball. So it was both me making the error, and luckily we came out unscathed because you guys had a burst of energy that I was not expecting that late in the game.
Cam and Scotty on the press was hilarious. Yeah, that's good stuff. Man.
I still want to see. I was really hoping we'd see it from your boys, Greeno, pressing for the full 48 minutes. Could you imagine a men's league game? Oh man, I think that'd be
I
awesome.
remember you talked about that at the very beginning of the season, and I was like, oh, that'd be intriguing. And then I've just kind of been monitoring my own cardio throughout this league, and I was like, I'd be done so quickly into any game.
But would they not also be done so quickly? Like,
Oh my gosh,
I
so
hope
fast.
so. I hope so.
yeah,
That would be the only way it would work.
I think that'd
We
be.
were already starting to slow down, it felt like. In like the end of the third, the game just felt like it was going half speed for just a spurt at least. And it was like
Yeah.
I was
and so if that happened, it'd be in like the second quarter. It'd be done.
when I sat down with Jill scorekeeping for a little while. Um, what did she say? Like, for being a 2 point game, this is super boring. It was like there. I think it was more on the lines of it didn't seem competitive. It didn't seem like people were playing for their lives, whereas I think our game felt that a little bit more. Like we felt the ramifications of the result here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you didn't feel that way, but from the stats, it seemed that way.
Well, to be completely honest, like watching, because I didn't get to watch your whole game, but stepping in for the last little bit, and sorry, we're jumping over your game, but like it seemed very high energy all the way to the end. Like it was still going back and forth. I think it ended up being a 10-point game
Mhm.
by the end of it, but it was close throughout. And like, yeah. And then being in our game, of course, it still felt intense, but it almost felt like both teams were like, okay, we're going to walk the ball up if you guys agree to not press us because we both just need to take a breath going into this next possession. And that just went back and forth in the final quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, like playing against you guys, like it's exhausting. Like I like you get beat up inside, like it's a battle, it's a fight, and so it gets tiring. And like sometimes you just gotta I can see how it would look like, man, this is going in slow motion. This is the most boring game I've ever seen because yeah, it's just hard to get movement down there and it's hard to get to the rack against you guys. And so at least for the offensive side for us, it was like, man, it's tough. So
Yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts from the from your guys' game? Carter, anything else you want to speak on that?
yeah, obviously Isaiah, great game. Logan was a little machine out there, a little menace to society on the court last game for sure. Caused some problems, but
Yeah,
um
I
he
love
was
when
yeah.
he was getting up in Cam's face, and then Cam gives him the shoulder, and Cam's the one who gets the call.
Yeah, Logue is I love Logue. I'm happy he's in the finals. Good for him. But it was a tough game against him and yeah. Yeah. Mike obviously played well. Great game from you defensively, offensively, both sides of the court. Well, you had 21 points, something like that. Great work. And then
Thank
you
you.
got like
The threes were not my forte.
Mm.
that game. So I was very thankful to see 21 points at the end. I was like, okay, made up for it some way.
Yeah, for sure. No,
And now
absolutely.
you see what I feel like, right? Just to get 20, you got to work so hard, man.
And then you always reach inside and you got Mike Marriott, Aaron Shooter, and Garrett Chittle waiting for you in the paint. And so like the just like the your team as a whole is just so strong, so menacing, so physically imposing, you know? So that's all I gotta say.
There's no easy
I
bucket.
remember
Yeah.
when M saw like our team for the first time. Sorry, that's my wife. She was like, "Man, you guys all have the same body type." Like I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You guys are all just like bulky individuals." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay. That like we're strong and fit. Hey, perfect. Take that."
Yeah, yeah.
Bunch of bulldogs. Oh, that's funny. I'm just taking a look if there's any other standouts. I know Tim came out firing in that game.
Oof.
He was, yeah, that was fun to watch. Uh,
So Tyron showing up in his garb, um,
That's
which I
what I
was like, oh,
heard.
I looked over to Logan. I was like, how does my cut show up to this game to cheer for your brother? Like I just don't fully understand. And of course, Tyron has his reasons, but there was a stretch where I think like Carter, you hit a three, and then Tim hit a three, and then Tim hit another three. Like I think you guys had three straight or something, and the lead was 10-19. And I'm too competitive to like acknowledge this in the moments, but afterwards I can reflect on it and turn shots from the bench. You got timeouts, Blue. You got timeouts. It's like you troll. Shut your mouth in your swimsuit and your hat and towel over there.
Man, yeah, he's so funny that game. Obviously, on my side, I thought he was hilarious, but I can understand the other side.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a blowout though that first 4 minutes or so. It was like, ooh, this isn't, it's going to get ugly. And then, no, fought back.
Hmm.
Cool, cool. Um, my game. Carter, you caught most of our game, eh?
Yeah, yeah. I think I caught, yeah, majority of the game. It just felt like you guys, honestly, like you guys were always fighting, but it felt like you were always playing from behind, right? Um, and every time you kind of get close, Billy or Justin would take over and make a big shot, and it was tough. They played a great defensive scheme. They were definitely well prepared to come against you guys. They it felt like they really keyed in on Jackson in the paint, so he'd beat his man. There's another man right there ready for him, and then you got a lot of work done, but it looked like you had to work for your buckets. Every point, every basket was work. So, and you obviously have Jonathan and Matt Maines combining for 28 points because I think Jonathan had 17 and Matt had 11. That's a big thing right there too. If those other guys step up as well. Chase obviously didn't have a great of his game as you usually see from him, but if those guys step up too, it's going to be hard to beat them. And yeah, they're just a really good team, really well rounded. So, and Frank hit like a huge three at the end of that game too. So you just see all those guys stepping up
Yeah.
together. So yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the stat line, definitely those auxiliary pieces that took care of it. It to me during the game, I think Maines felt like that X factor. I didn't realize how many Jonathan had, but just some of the ones that Maines hit, and it's like that. I don't think that should have went in, but it went in. And then the 16 boards too. He was throwing himself around. He hit me pretty hard on one free throw. He missed the free throw and then just smashed me. Like, all right, Maines, let's go, man. I love. Oh, he was big for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grino, what'd you see?
I hopped in, I think late in the third, and then watched the fourth. And like I said, like it was a great battle to see. Like you guys were motivated to be going at it against each other. Um, but I think there was a stretch early in that fourth where you guys would pull ahead, and then Billy Goats would just have an answer. And then by the time it was all said and done, I think they just had more answers than you had for responses. Um, and yeah, like I credit to their defense, like the shooting percentage as you go down the list on guys that you think would be not think would be higher, but honestly has been higher throughout the season. Um, like I don't know, this might be one of the worst shooting percentage games your team had overall. And so that's, that makes it tough to win the game. But our Billy just, yeah, Billy just kind of had his fingerprints all over the game there too. Five steals defensively is like you're obviously having an impact on the ball. And I agree with you too, Kendall. Like Matt hit some shots down the stretch where I was like, man, that feels like a heavy shot as far as momentum goes. Yeah, it was a great battle to watch though.
Mhm. Yeah, it was tough. I think their game plan, obviously, Billy, you can see the coach coming out. I think what just impressed me with that team is that they all bought in. So like obviously we're the bigger team, should be able to feast inside maybe a little bit, but anytime I got in the post, catch it on the left or on our right side with my left hand. I turn the corner, look around. There's four guys waiting for me. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess best I can do is try to draw them closer and then kick, and then we just didn't hit as many as we needed there. Having Tristan for that game would have been huge. Obviously, we knew that going into the draft that was likely to happen, so that's the risk that we that Jackson took. Um, still loved playing with Tristan all year. So, but yeah, we knew that was coming, and so it got kind of, I don't know, bit us in the butt at the end, and it's all right.
Yeah, like you said, there was a lot late in the game where yeah, you guys would go into the paint. And there's like 4, 5 bodies to meet you there, and then yeah, shots just weren't falling from the outside. So it was a great defensive game plan approach. And Tristan changes the game. Like not necessarily saying win-loss changes the game, but I think changes schematics defensively for Billy Goats just because he is a guy that will hit those shots when he's open and will force you to spread out a little bit. But um, yeah.
So just looking, I wanted to see what the Billy Goats averaged points wise this season. Um,
They're getting buckets this season, that's
one
for sure.
102.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
crazy high, yeah.
I don't
so you
know.
guys stifled them a
That
little bit.
doesn't seem right. They did have the one game against the sub squad that kind of inflated that, but I would think probably other than that game, they would have been 95 to 100, I imagine. And so I mean, yeah, we held them defensively 85, not awful, probably a little higher than we would have liked, but like what you said though, Greeno, that they had an answer. It's like we do something nice, do something great, feel a little bit of momentum, and then they'd hit another dagger, and then you'd claw back in, and then they'd hit a dagger, and um, yeah, it just got exhausting. Cool.
I
Uh,
love Devo, but a few more threes, like it was tough. I really wanted them to go in. Every time he was open, I was like, come on,
yeah,
that's in there. And it looks good every time. It just wasn't falling for him that game.
yeah.
Sucks.
I know. What do you have the 27? Do you have 27 the last time we played them? So couldn't repeat, unfortunately.
Mhm.
All right, let's get into the finals then. Finals matchup. Greeno, we'll start off. What's the game plan? What's your guys' key to success?
Um,
Let's switch this. What's Marriott's keys to success? I know Marriott's not there, but he's your GM. He's got to be typing up in the group chat. What's he giving to you?
Mike lets us be ourselves, at the game, which I so appreciate. He just keeps it chill and relaxed for us. It's always fun playing for different GMs because like, you know, Kendall when I was playing with you and even Tyron, like get like a good sometimes page typed out on upcoming matchups for certain games and everything. And Mike's considered just like, hey guys, who's here this week? Just making sure we got numbers, and he's on it. Like he's on it early. Wants to make sure he gets good subs in there. And so, we show up, we ball out, and I think Mike has, and Mike said this at the very beginning too, but he drafted his team to just be like kind of a bunch of defensive grinders and go from there. And so our game plan, I guess, is always like play defense really hard and offensively try and score. And if we don't score, try and get a rebound. So that's like that, and we're in the finals now. So it's like that's
Working.
that's
Love
that's been
it.
the game
Love it.
plan from day one, and I think that'll just be the game plan going forward.
Awesome.
Well, that's funny. Carter, keys to success for the board man.
Keys to success. Um, Isaiah, Isaiah and Mike combining for a lot of points again, I think is really important. I mean, against us, you combined for 50. That helps. That's pretty important, I think, because the scoring for your team definitely comes from you guys mainly, I'd say. And then you gotta stop at least one or two of that big three. So if you could stop Justin and Chase, maybe hold them to like 10 or 15 apiece. That helps you a lot. And if those auxiliary pieces like we were talking about don't step up, game could be yours. But they're a really good team. They shoot well, they play hard, and they're well coached. So um I wish you guys the best of luck. They're a good squad.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, man.
Um, I think yeah, Greeno, Isaiah got to put up. Let's go 50 together. So 25, 25, 20, 30, something like that. Um, I think Logan, we got to see him on offense. I know Billy's going to tell the boys to sag on that three ball, and we have seen Logan get hot on the three. So I want to see more of that. I want to see him just light up from three. Um, Also in transition. Um, I'm not fast. I have been told I'm deceptively quick, but I'm not fast. And I was able to get some transition buckets on the goats, or not. Yeah, sorry, on the goats. Uh, Greeno, you can slice and dice. I think Logan can get through them. So even if you see, there was times where I saw like two or three guys in front of me. They're getting back in transition, but I just didn't feel like they were ready to play defense in transition. So I think you can take advantage of that. Um, Boards, they destroyed us on the boards, and I don't know numbers wise how much different it was, but
Six, difference of six.
it felt like way more than that. It felt like we would get a stop and we had no one there. Someone was getting the board and they're going back up. So yeah, I'm curious what their second chance points would have been. It would have been very high, I think. Um, and I think you guys match up better that way. You have more guys willing to get after the rebound. So um, I would say securing the boards is another huge thing for you guys against them. On OND, you can get old boards on them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you guys, I think Kendall, you said this, but like they've bought in. Like hat off to Billy for structuring and building his team the way he has. Like they just buy into what they're doing. And I don't mean to like gush over people too much, but like it's been great to see Billy doing what he's doing this year. Like I remember seeing him back when he was still in high school, and that dude loves basketball, man. Like he's gotten so much better since then. He keeps getting better, and seeing him coaching now, and then Chase, because I coached Chase back at Churchill, like just seeing guys who love the game and keep getting better. Carter, like you said, that big three for them of Justin, Chase, and Billy. Like when we played them the first time, I just took a look at the stats before, and I was like, okay, Justin's like he was just filling it up, getting buckets for a game. So I was like, okay, I'm going to key in on Justin and see what happens. And it was like, I forget, there's always folklore where it's like, oh, Hail Hydra, right? Cut off one head and two will rise in its place or whatever. Sorry, it's a Marvel thing for anyways.
Oh, I get it. I get it, man.
Sorry.
I got it too.
Sorry, that was a nerd moment for me. But anyways,
On that note, when Jill and I had done a Europe trip, and so we watched that movie in Germany, um, and so like was it Winter Soldier that we had watched? I think it was Winter Soldier, right? And so it opens on that German scene, right? Like if you're watching it in
yeah,
English, it opens on that German scene, but we're in Germany. We have paid, I don't know, 20 euros or something ridiculous to watch it. It was before it was even out in North America, so we were just pumped to be there. Um, and that opening scene is in German, and we're like, oh dang, we just paid this to watch a German movie. Like it's all going to be subtitles, and then it changed. We're like, oh, thank goodness.
That's funny. That's actually funny.
Oh man. But yeah, like when we played them the first time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and key in on Justin here. And he still got like buckets in that game. But then I looked at Chase and Billy's stat line, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's harsh. And I'm not providing any help side to my teammates in that game either, because I was like, oh, if I shut Justin down, then it all goes down. But they just have so many weapons offensively. And like you said, they buy in. And guys like Matt that are hitting those big shots for them, like, yes, stop the big three, but they got other guys that can provide offense too. So for us, it's going to be just like it always has been, give a lot of effort defensively. And I do agree, Kendall, try and get out in transition as much as we can and get on the glass as much as we can. But it'll be a battle for sure.
Um, Keys to the success then for the goats. Carter, we'll let you start with that one.
Hmm. Um, hit shots. If you can hit shots, if you can put the ball in the net, I think they got a really good shot at winning this game. And uh, it's interesting if you can, like you'd like to say, if you can stop Isaiah and Mike and hold them to maybe less than 50. That's a huge key to success for them. Easier said than done, but like if that's the case, if that happens, I think Billy Goat's got the dub there. Um, and so I don't know. I'd say a good game plan from Billy again. Yeah, I just play their game. I don't know. I don't know. That's my key to success. Keep playing. They're obviously doing something right. They're undefeated, so I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. They have it figured out. They play their game, and it's a tough one. Um, it was interesting. I would say, oh, when was that? No, I think that was when we had the all guest panel that Billy brought up that he doesn't have someone who's willing to set big screens. And since then, Matt has said, okay, I'm going to be that guy. And they've been running that pick and roll, and it's pretty deadly. We had a tough time. They hit a couple on us the game before. They had hit quite a few. Um, so yeah, getting that going, just getting some awkward switches, or attacking that pick and roll, I think is nice for them. Forces that second help side, so then Billy can kick out. Um, I think another key for the goats is other people facilitating. I think Billy's the only one that consistently has high assists. If you get the ball out of his hands, who on that squad is going to look to facilitate rather than just look to score or catch and shoot? I think they need to find that other person because against Boardman, you have enough defenders that you can keep throwing guys at Billy, keep putting pressure on him, getting that ball in his left hand, that kind of thing. That someone else has to be willing to facilitate for them to secure that victory.
No, the thing that I think I got to give credit to the Billy Goats is, and again, this is not an intentional plug to reminisce, but when our team went undefeated last year, this time, I don't know, it felt a little different where it was like, man, this is like, we'd go into match and be like, hey, we're gonna, we got this game in the bag in some cases. And this season, it's felt so competitive, and yet Billy Goats has just found a way to win, even in the games that are like down to the wire, neck and neck. You don't know which way it's going to go, and they've come out on top every single time.
Yeah, it feels completely different. I'd agree with you that like we went into most games knowing that we were going to win. If I'm sorry, but like yeah, we knew there were
Well,
maybe
yeah.
two games that were in question, but we had a lot more to give if we had to.
Look at that team. Look at that stupid team. You had
Yeah.
Scotty, Mike, Justin. Justin was a glorified sharpshooter that year. He didn't even have to do anything else. He was wide open half the time. Where did he even come from? I was like, this guy's a good shooter. Yeah, he's all right. I'll still give him a little space. You can't do that now. Like you can't do that anymore. And so you had Scotty too, and then Logan playing defense. That team was stupid. That team
And
was
then,
so dumb looking back on that team.
but
That
then
was
you still
dumb.
had what,
I
Jason
shouldn't
Taylor,
have paid for that
still had
season. That
guys
was
who could score.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was stupid. So kudos to Billy for making this run while still playing games. Like yeah, he says himself, like, I'm scared every game. And that's reasonable, right? Like at every game you feel like you can beat them. But yeah, we need you to beat them though. We got to be the only undefeated team, Greeno. So whatever it takes. Um,
The secret is Justin Surface, man. I don't know if you guys realize, but since he's been in the league, he's been to 3 straight finals now.
okay. Yeah. How
Oh,
many wins though?
He's 1 for 2 so
Okay.
far.
So
dang, that's pretty good.
is LeBron
Kendall, you're 2 for
GOAT?
2 right now.
Is LeBron the GOAT or is MJ the GOAT? Just out of
This is like coming out of
well, no,
coming out of
I'm just
nowhere.
saying,
Kendall, are you
does a
saying you're the
finals
GOAT of
appearance
the
mean
league right
much, or
now?
does a finals win mean much?
Kendall, are you
I was
saying
just
you're the GOAT
saying,
of the league? 2 for 2 in the
let's.
finals. Are you saying you're the GOAT?
I feel
Man.
like that was an intentional plug to go back and be like, okay, what's his record? But who's the? Oh yeah, Kendall won
Yeah,
twice.
yeah. I think Josh Crawford's the GOAT. That's my GOAT for real. Always.
But I was just simply making an observation that Justin Surface has been to the finals 3 straight times. I just completely, objective, letting you guys know. Fun fact.
It's a good fact.
That,
Like I
that's
like it.
he's only been in the league 3 times, right? So he's 100% finals trip. So
There you go.
GMs for next season, guys thinking about getting into that role. If you want to make the finals, not necessarily going to win, but you might get there.
Might get there.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Um, cool. Any other thoughts about the game tomorrow? One, I guess I'll add in there just the plug to get people out. Hopefully a little bit more motivation when you can win something there. I think it'll just be a fun time. It'll be fun to get as many people out for acknowledging our award winners as well. We'll do that at halftime. Um, yeah.
Miss you, Mike. Miss you, Mike.
How do kids do it these days, though? They do the heart different, don't they? Yeah,
Is
they
that
do it
right?
that way.
Oh,
What is
yes,
that?
I did it. Wow.
You're
It's
so young, Carter.
I know. It's like came naturally. It's like the second time I've done it.
It's impressive.
Boom right in there. I'm Gen Z. Gen Z right here.
All right,
Oh,
we're carrying. Oh, awesome. Where were we? We were chatting about game. Any last things about that game coming up tomorrow?
I don't know if this got in there, but we're gonna miss Mike. Might have said that already.
Yeah, Marriott. Sean is like what he's a lottery ticket. So it's going to be great. And he's going to give you that extra 25 points potentially. Or if he's not hitting, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Lately, I feel like he's been hitting more often than not. Yeah, he's going to be an X factor there. He's going to be big. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I think he's going to throw a bit of a wrench into Billy's plans. Yeah, it'll be good. As always with some of those young bucks, feel free to put them in their place a little bit. I think you gotta make sure that they know their role.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's get into then Greeno. You had said you had well, what was the call of your segment? What were you calling it?
Gratitude with Greeno. I couldn't think of it better. Just GRGR. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Before we do that though, let's get to know you as a person. So who are you? What's your family look like? What do you do for work? That kind of thing.
Well, I am now old enough to forget how old I am when people ask.
Yep.
So that's a bit of a bummer. I have been married to my beautiful wife, Emily, for 6 years now. This is year 7 we're in right now. We have 2 wonderful boys. We have JJ, who is just over 2, and Nash, who is 8 months, 9 months. And yes, they are both named after white NBA players, but that was not the thought process at all. It just so happens to be that way. I teach grade
I
four.
never thought that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, right. I know. There's no intention, no intention.
It would have been more funny if Emily wasn't into basketball and you swung that without her realizing, but she would have realized that. So yeah.
Yeah, snuck it in back door. I guess I should mention that I am not the best basketball player in my family, and I do not know the most about basketball in my family. My wife is a certified hooper and the brains behind our high school coaching operation. We coach the varsity girls at Emmanuel Christian School, and I teach grade four there. So that's about me.
At what point do we try a non-participant GM? So, for example, we get Emily as a GM, um, gets to draft you, and then go from there. That'd be interesting.
That'd be
Oh,
something.
she would take that very seriously. She would show up with like her laptop, iPad out. I don't know. She would probably have contacts in, but she didn't glasses, ready to go.
Love it. That's
Uh,
amazing.
that'd be sweet. We'll have to consider that. Um, cool. Get into your segment there then.
Right on. As you guys know, I have two young boys, so this year I'm very grateful for the play place in the gym. That's been very nice for my son to watch games while sliding down things. I'm grateful for earlier games. That way I can bring the family out and be back in time for bedtime. As a husband and a father, that allows me to do this guilt-free. You know what I mean? Thankful for Mike Marriott. Thank you for believing in me, for taking me. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for the refs. Thank you to those of you who show up and get to have me give you dirty looks when I really shouldn't be. I should be a better person, but I want to say thank you. Thank you to our scorekeepers. Thank you for being there and pushing buttons. And for Jill, thank you for showing up and doing that for us in crunch time. Thank you to artificial intelligence for tracking my stats so that I do not have to go home and have an hour-long bath and watch the huddle segment back with a notepad and take my own stats anymore. However, I'm not as grateful the more mistakes that I find, but I know that it's working on it. So I'm getting my faith back. Want to say thank you to the league for giving me a motivation to work out each week because after I run up and down the floor, I'm like, wow, I should be in better shape. And then I don't do anything and I wait till next week to have the same thought and then think about I should work out. I'm grateful to the league that anyone can come watch this year. That way I can bring the whole swath of family, more so just to chase after my one son because he requires three people. So that's been really great. Thankful for the opportunity to play a different role. I know this might come as a shocker. Never been a point scorer in my basketball career. I have either been the point guard in high school that does the right thing, passes the ball, and runs the play just for somebody to ruin the whole thing and shoot it. But that was the role. And then in college, strictly 3 and D, mostly bench energy. That's my polite way of saying I just didn't play a lot in college. So this has been a great opportunity to play a new role, to shoot shots, that aren't just in the corner. That's been pretty fantastic. And then last but not least, just want to say, I'm grateful for Kendall. Not gonna, do too much on screen here, but dude, the fact that we have a league like this, I don't think people fully understand like how awesome that is and that it's still going because usually these things start up and then they crash and then they don't happen for a while. But it's so awesome to be able to do this sort of thing in the amount of time that you've put in. So it's my gratitude segment.
Cool. Thanks, man. Um, it's interesting. The couple things. The playground does for you it's nice, but do you think Emily finds it harder to watch now that there's a playground because now the kids just want to go, right?
Emily watches games from the play place. She's on like I'll be shooting free throws and she's up on the fourth story with JJ looking through the mesh.
See what I can't wait for, and I again like my hope is that this league continues for years to come. Is when all our kids are like, I don't know, 4 up to 10 or so, and there's like 20 kids up there, just chaos for the full 3 hours, 4 hours, however long it is, and I think that would be so much fun.
I think
Like
so
about
too.
as
That'd
old
be
as
awesome.
Carter. That'd be
Be
great.
so
Yeah.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let Carter be the babysitter. He can go up there and take care of the kids.
Pull him down from there.
I mean, no, never mind. I was gonna say you do that for your job. You don't babysit. You teach the gospel to them, which is much more important than just babysitting. But you know how to take care of the kiddos. So, um, cool. What else did you say there? Oh, I wonder like how things would have turned out because Marriott was considering taking me at that pick 5, or
That's
he was
right.
just talking about doing that just to so that we would lose, but or that he wanted me to not win. That was how he said it, right? Um, but
Sabotage his
Marriott's,
team from the get-go just to bring you down.
oh, that's 100%.
Such a Marriott thing. That's
Yeah,
such a Marriott thing.
yeah. So I'm curious how it would have went. Obviously, everyone you're going to draft differently once you make that first decision, but it's always interesting to think what the alternate timeline would have been. Um, yeah. Carter, did you have any thoughts on that? On Reno's gratefulness?
Yeah, I loved it. It was so wholesome. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. All I gotta say.
Trying to get Klaus and myself on his side for officials tomorrow, so we'll see. Oh man, love it. Sorry, I had one other thought on that. Yep, blanking. Cool. All right. Last kind of order of business I wanted to take care of was to touch base on the Google Forms survey that league members are going to get. Um, Hoping to kind of talk about a little bit of it now so that you can start thinking about it. And then next week when I send it out, you're not just trying to think on the spot. You have an idea, you have some opinions kind of going in. So it is a longer survey, especially if you're signing up as wanting an invite for a future season. Then I have some like future conversations in there. So just so you have an expectation of what to come. Um, Survey will start off with your season feedback, so satisfaction with the league, competition level, that kind of thing. The new facility, thoughts on the extras that we bring, so Sports Visio, game film, player of the week, league awards, officials, league website, that kind of thing. So just be thinking about how did you feel the league went that way. Obviously, some time for written feedback. So anything that you think of, I've got pretty tough skin. I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing, but I also want to continue to make it better. So there'll be some times where people will throw random things out there, and I'll be like, I've thought about it. There's not a chance that that's going to work. There'll be some things that people will say, and I'll be like, oh no, that's a great idea. Let's see how we can make that happen. So um, yeah, I want this to be, I know it's not like a membership or anything, but I want you guys at home playing in the league to feel like this is your league, right? And so that's the goal with these surveys, and be open and honest as you're making that feedback. 3 kind of key things that we'll be voting on. When I say voting on, you'll be giving feedback what you think. In-person draft, are we ready for that? Are we ready to give that a try? Obviously, the thought being it wouldn't be fully in person. It would be we get together, we do the first 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds even together. GMs go off on their own, they finish the draft, and then come back together, and we share it in a random order. Gives you an opportunity to get together with your team, that kind of thing. So let's chat about that right now. Actually, any thoughts that you guys have on that? Do you feel the league's at a point where it's ready to try that? What are your concerns, questions, that kind of thing?
Mike, you go. What do you think, huh?
I love the idea. I think that would be a blast. Um, this sounds really lame, but as someone who just has a busy life with family and extracurricular things, it would be amazing if we were going to do it, if that date was like, hey, this is when we're launching, this is when that's going to be. So it's like marked off on the calendar for us planners ahead of time. But no, man, I think that'd be a blast. I love how some people thought, like myself when I first heard it, that it was going to put people on blast. Like it was like, no, we're doing this whole thing in person. We're going down to the seventh round. We're going to let everybody know who's getting drafted last in front of everybody. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good for league culture. And then you told me exactly what it's going to look like. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. I think that'd be a hoot, man. I'd love that a lot. And I really hope that it happens. Yeah, I really hope that it happens.
Cool. Um, it's always fascinating because you get some people who are like, I just do it. We're all grown men. We'll figure it out. And then some of those people that say that, you're like, you're one that should not be saying that because you're not going to appreciate what goes down. So, oh, it's
So
always,
humiliating. No.
yeah. Yeah, no, won't get into that any further. But so something to think about. You'll be kind of voting on that here when you get that next week. How important is league live streams? So obviously not going with Huddle. We don't have access to that at the moment. Huddle's way too expensive. It'd be a different. I've looked at a couple other cameras. Pixelot is one. We tried the Xbox Go, which would have given us opportunity, but it was I got dizzy watching that screen, to be honest. So we would need something more expensive than that, that does a little better job. So um, yeah, how important is live streaming? How important is having access to the film that night? Because that would allow us to do that. Better angle, better quality, that kind of thing. Um, you guys have any thoughts, any tidbits you want to mention on that?
My
Yeah, I
thoughts would be
mean,
like, you go ahead,
you go,
Carter.
Mike. No, no, please, you go ahead. Okay, I'll go. I'll go. It's okay, I'll go. It doesn't matter. That's all I gotta say.
Wait, did you go? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
What do you
My
say?
my answer would be meh. Like the live stream, I think is always nice. Like I said, bring the family there. If I have a later game and can't go, like it's nice for people who love me and know that this is for fun, but still want to watch. But at the same time, I don't personally, I'm like, I would rather just not have to pay more if that's what it came down to. And so I'm good waiting, whatever it is, few days to get back and see it at the end of the day.
I think yeah, when people are voting for this, very important, vote what you personally want. So like for that one, you think, oh, some people might want that, so I'm going to vote in favor. No, it's what do you want? Um, and yeah, I think probably most people are kind of in that boat, but I want to get an idea of exactly how many people are in that boat, right? Because if I have of our 49 in this league, if I have 30 people saying they really want this, well, then we got to figure out how to make it happen. If I have five people and those are the five vocal people who have been talking to me, well, then it's probably not worth it, right? So vote how you want to vote, not how someone else or how you think the league might be voting. Um, Next one there is Sabol officials. So getting carded officials. Still haven't heard back from them on an official number or anything like that yet. I have Tim Whitehead working on some stuff there as well. He knows a lot of officials, so if maybe the potential of bringing in like one carded official and then one of ours, that kind of thing. Um, Greeno, you play high school basketball. You have some officials. Um, Thoughts?
Respect the officials, man. That's the message I give to my athletes. And so I'm like, whether they have a card or not, I'm like, I think I think the intention would be that there is more trust that it's the right calls rather than you can yell at these people now.
Right.
So I don't know. I I've always kind of been like that. Respect the officials, even though I struggle with that sometimes, and that's on me. I need to work on myself. So um yeah, I don't know. If it's like increase the quality of officiating, I get it, and so I'm for that. If it's like, hey, let's not be yelling at people that we play against, let's yell at people we don't. No, let's not bring that in.
Yeah. And I think that gets hard is that like I'm paying like your individual fees. I don't know what it would work to. Each person's probably paying. Actually, I shouldn't give a number because I don't know what that would be. But we pay officials $25 a game, so $50 per game for officials. And I would think that that would at least double, if not more, when it's Saboa. Well, if I'm paying this ref to ref me that much money, he better be doing a perfect job or a near perfect job, right? And that's my one kind of biggest concern. Um, yeah. Any thoughts, Carter?
Yeah, well, I'm super hot-headed, so refs never really like me, and so I yeah, I'm ready to yell if they come in, and so yeah, ready to go. Just kidding, just kidding. I honestly, if it goes up a lot of money, I would probably rather not. I don't know. I'm pretty open to either. I think I'd make my decision when the waiver comes in. I'm a simple guy. I change make up my mind in random time. So don't really know what to say about that either. Yeah.
That's fair. And again, that was the goal of having this conversation now is that people start to think about it, to think what do they want to vote so they can vote accurately. Excuse me. I think the one reason that I do like Civil officials is because they know the rules. And
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
application that lacks sometimes. I think most of our guys in the league, the heart's in the right place. I don't think they're ever intentionally screwing anyone over. And same thing with Samoa officials. I don't think that's the case. They don't care enough to intentionally screw someone over. That's not who people usually are. Um, but there's times where like me personally, I don't know, I ref the most games this year, and I just don't know the rules well enough, right? Like there's situations that things happen, and I'm like, I don't know what I should do in this situation. And so I think if we do continue with league members officiating, we need to start doing some sort of development of like let's read the rules, let's start trying to get an understanding of what's going on, commit to kind of 8 to 10 refs who are like we're all in on this. But yeah, not sure exactly what that looks like, but the league will vote and then we'll make a decision based on that. Um, cool. Then I'll talk about the spring season. So what the timeline looks like for registering, what the schedule will look like. Um, people will have an opportunity to discuss what they want for this league. Do we want the league to kind of be status quo, slow growth? Are we at a point where we want to just sit and say, you know what, we got, say, 8 teams next year, let's stay at 8 teams forever? Do we want to grow this into something big, multiple divisions, that kind of thing? What do you guys want? Um, that one's tough for me because I know that it's easier to stay small. Um, but it hurts when I just this last week some random person came up to me. He's like, "How do I get in here?" Right? And I don't want to say no to people, right? Like we have something that's fun, it's enjoyable, it's great community. I don't want to hold someone back from being part of that. Um, so I don't know how we do that. But any thoughts that you guys have on that?
Yeah,
Off the
Mike,
cuff,
got any thoughts? Mike.
I'm like I like the status quo, but that's because I'm in it. Like I'm in it. And so I just gotta keep doing it as long as I don't do anything crazy. You know what I mean? Um, but being someone who's on the outside looking in, like that, it's a hard thing to join. And not like as a criticism, but just because of what it is and because you've been so careful with building the culture in the league. So yeah, it would be nice to be able to open that up to more people at the same time. You know, I'm in it, so I like how it is.
Mhm. Yeah, it's tough. I've got like I think 4 or 5 guys already who want to be part of the league next season, and I'm like, I hope I can get you in, buddy. I'll do my best, but it's like I love the way the league's structured right now. I love being and when you said like divisions and stuff, it just makes me a little more sad. Like say I go a whole season without playing against like one of my good friends or like honestly, all the guys in the league are my good friends now, I guess at this point. But like, what if I don't get to play against Greeno in a game the whole season? That's not fun. I like being encouraged when I shoot free throws, not talked to about random things to try to throw me off. So like,
Got you,
I don't
man. You're better than a 72. You're better than a 72.
and yeah, so it's tough, and I don't know, Kendall. I'd probably lean towards if you could maybe add 1 or 2 teams. I don't know, but hypothetically, that's probably the dream. But I don't know. Slow growth might be my forte, my desire. But
And it's just like with how we do it and with you kind of inviting new people. Well, this year we had 10 guys that were new or so, 15 guys. So those 15 are going to have 10 to 15 more that they want to bring in, right? And so like you could just continually, so say we allow each person to bring one person in, like the league just exponentially grows then, right? And so I don't know how where you limit that, where you say, you know what, sorry, we only have room if someone leaves, which isn't ideal, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Um, not too sure, but you guys can have a vote and you can be thinking about it and always open to conversations there. Um, yeah, looking at the list of people, subs turning to full timers next year, that kind of thing. It's going to be a nice crew next year, so I'm looking forward to it. Uh, on that note, you'll have 3 potential additions you can bring forward. Third one likely not even getting considered unless we really need someone. First and second, depending on what the league needs, I try to think about who's leaving. Round wise, I love the guys in like rounds 2 through 5. We can have tons of 2 through 5, and then it's also good to have some of the 6th and 7th rounders. But so if one 7th rounder is leaving, then I try to bring one in, right? Or if we're adding an 8th team, now I can have another 7th rounder because I do think that kind of rounds things out nicely.
So if Isaiah leaves, which round are you bringing in?
That's a wild question. Yeah, I'm not
That's
even,
that's rhetorical. That's rhetorical.
I'm gonna
Just
answer
because I
that.
think it's so funny that boy's been hooping.
Crazy. But yeah, so you have 3 people. You'll kind of rate their sportsmanship, that kind of thing. And then only bring people that you're like, this would be an awesome addition to the league. Don't bring guys that you're thinking, yeah, maybe. No, if you think maybe, don't bother bringing them. If you're confident they'd be great, then toss them on there and then we have that conversation. Uh, GMs, we'll talk about GMs a little bit. Just give you an opportunity to say how do you feel about being a GM? Which guys you'd like to see be GM as well. And then some mid to long term planning. So if we eventually get to that point where we have 10 teams, I don't see us fitting that in one day. So we might split into like a Tuesday division, a Sunday division, where guys get to choose which division they play in. So you'll talk about that a little bit. Potential changes to season timing. Now this will be a tough one. I know a lot of you are aware that I'm kind of taking a sabbatical from teaching to go and farm. And so we run fall and spring seasons, and spring and fall are the busiest time on the farm, right? And so um, I have to figure out how that works with me. And so we'll see what people's thoughts are on winter season, that kind of thing. If I need to find a way to make it work in fall and spring, if I need to find someone to be the acting commission, I don't have to be there all the time, that kind of thing. So sponsorship if you're interested in getting on as a sponsor. And then finally, just a reminder of that 3-on-3 Winter League. So very robust survey, lots going on there. Take your time on it. Give me good feedback so we can grow properly. We can do what the league wants. That was a lot of me talking. Any questions? Any thoughts before we call her a day?
Yeah, no.
Nothing, Carter.
I don't know. It's sad, man. This is gonna be the last pod for a while, and it's been a good year of podcasts.
No,
Kicking
we have to have one more though, leading
Oh,
into
we got
the
one more?
All-Star game. I think
Don't
we
do a
need one before the
year-end
All-Star.
podcast without Cam.
Yeah,
Don't
Yeah,
do
true.
that.
We have to finish with Cam, eh? We have to finish with
I
Cam.
think so. I think we'll have one.
Okay.
All-Star one will happen on the 19th. I'll post that probably that day or the day after. And then we can maybe break down teams.
Yeah, I won't get sentimental then. I got
Yeah.
nothing to say.
Yeah. Last thing that we're gonna chat about, that list that got sent out with all-stars ranked percentages, that stuff. Thoughts? Anything you want to say, Carter?
Man, I don't know who it is, bro, but I just felt really disrespected. I'm not saying I've had like an unreal season, and I'm not saying that all the guys above me like don't deserve to have great ratings or whatever. Like obviously Patty was disrespected too. But it's like, man, I'm not that low. Like that was low, right? Like I was 7 overalls lower than the next guy. Like, oh, I don't know. I like, do they have something out against me? Like, I think we need to have a coffee date or something, just hash things out. Because I don't know what I did to this guy, but he doesn't like me very much. So, or if it was a girl, maybe you never know. But
Definitely.
but I'm bewildered. I'm not hurt. I want to talk. That's it. That's it. I want to talk.
51 playmaking, 42 interior defense.
Everyone's kind of above an 80 interior defense. Why am I just because I'm the shortest, I guess.
That's painful. I mean, what did I get for 3-point shooting? 40.
You got 40, man.
I got
I
So
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Shooting machine, man.
Again, I need to shoot the three ball. In warmups this week in warmups, 5 for 5 from three. And I was like, all right, let's let it fly. And then I was like, I can go get lips. Why would I shoot a three ball, right? But one of these years, I got to change. I got to commit to it. Yeah.
Oh man.
How'd you feel about
No, for me? Oh
Yeah.
man. I was like, hey, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
I think
I yeah.
the 90 interior defense, at first, people might be a little bit shocked by that. But you matched up with me this season. You did well. You matched up with Patty. You did well, right? Like you're impressive inside and outside.
Absolutely.
As a human as
Absolutely.
well, man. As a human as well.
Oh, that was sweet. Sweet.
I
Kendall doesn't just throw those compliments around on here either. You should take that one. Take that
I
note.
my secret interior defense is to not play interior defense against you guys. It's like, okay, I'm going to meet you at the 3-point line,
That's
and
fair.
you'll move me. You'll move me. It's just going to take a long time to get there. That's the secret.
Love it.
But Carter, as soon as I saw this list, I was like, bro, this is a bitter ex-lover, man, that has put this list together because you got roasted. However, shout out to the creativity, the mind to think of this concept. It was very, very amusing, very entertaining to look through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The person did say if you are not on that list and you want to have it broken down with the same formulas, just let me know. I'll pass your name on. He did say you might not want like what you see. He said it's all formula based. It's not
Oh,
him. It's just a formula that he's using. I told him he needs a new formula, but yeah, whatever. On that note, though, if you have things that you want to bring to the league, last year we had our power rankings. No, someone got a little bit lazy.
they
No,
started to lose. That's what happened. They started to lose.
they were starting to lose maybe. I also when it's someone that I'm not paying, I can't really hold them accountable. I can't be like, dude, you got to do this. But if you have things like that you're like, I think this is cool, the league should get this, send it my way. Love that kind of thing that I'm just hands off and can just say, look at this, someone brought this, this is cool. Whether your name's attached or not, it's cool to add. Cool. All right, guys. We were hoping to have it like in a half an hour, and we went through 2 full recordings. So, as always, we see how much of a pleasure it is once we get going. We'll finish with some quick shout outs from Carter. Looks like he's got some ice cream brand he wants to start with, and then we'll shut
No,
it.
no, no. Shout out, Mike Greeno. Way to show up for the pod. Good luck in the finals, my friend. Thanks for showing up tonight. Little late stream. Love it, love it, love it. Shout out Charlie Brown Christmas. Excited to watch that movie here coming up soon. Excited for the Christmas season. Loving it. Shout out Pine Trees. Am I right? Love Pine Trees. Okay, that's it. Good night, guys. Take care.